Hello everyone, I'm Mandy Foote. I just wanted to drop in and say hello. Today was meant to be book launch day for Lucy and Copper, so I wanted to still be able to give you a little bit of the story behind the story, since we can't do it in person in these strange times. It's a little bit windy here, so I hope it's not too much background noise. I'm here with my pony Picky. Here he is. He's very chilled out. Some people who have followed my book journey for many years might recognise him. He is the pony that I drew in Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and we've been together 20 years now, so a long time. And but today I wanted to show you a bit about the story behind Lucy and Copper. So this story is a companion story to Joey and Riley, and my editor and I, we came up with the idea of the story of a girl and a horse and her relationship, but I needed to find what the story was about, what was going to be the heart of the story. My editor was aware that I had lost horses during my time. I've had horses for 37 years now. And she said, maybe you can touch on that. And I thought, well, that's a really hard subject to touch on. So I went searching for what could be the story between this girl and the horse. And at the time I was having coffee with a good friend of mine, Michelle. And I told her about my dilemma of trying to find, what was going to be the challenge for this little girl and her horse. And she happened to tell me about her daughter, Kiara, and her little pony, Smudge, little Shetland pony, and how Kiara had grown too big to ride her, and she was quite upset about that. So that really resonated with me because it's still a story about having to move on from a much loved relationship, because in essence Kiara was losing that connection, that part of her relationship with Smudge. So that became the idea behind this story, and that's what I ran with, and from there I developed the characters and brought in the second horse, who is Copper, the pony that she is going to move on with. So Lucy's story, it's a bit windy, I'm sorry, it's a bit breezy. So Lucy's story begins when Pa brings home Copper, and I'll just read you this first spread. You can see this here. The farm sparkled. Dewdrops fell from the rails, making tiny puddles in perfect lines. Good morning, Lucy, said Pa. Meet your new pony, Copper. No thanks. So there, from the first spread, Lucy's response, no thanks. That sets the tone for the entire story. Sorry, I'm blocking you out there. He's still here. He's hiding behind me. So from there, we basically delve into, and it might seem from the beginning that Lucy is ungrateful for the new pony, but in a way, she's not ungrateful. She just doesn't want to let go of her relationship with Smudge. So we work through that now, and even Copper has his own story. So he's come down from up north, and he's got his own story underneath the main part. So as we work through this, I did draw on some of my own personal experiences. Think, are you hiding? Because I've had numerous horses that I've loved and lost, and in a sense Lucy is grieving as well, so that's what we work through. But when you go through those relationships with animals, with dogs and horses, and you're faced with having to move on, so to speak, I try not to look at it as moving on or replacing. I like to look at it as moving forward. So everything that you learn from that relationship, that horse or animal, it could be any animal, dog, cat, guinea pig, anything. You right? you know, everything that they bring to that relationship that you have with them, everything that you've learnt from them, everything that they give you, all that love and connection, all those little, you know, quirky things, you know, take that into your next relationship, so it's not lost, and you're not replacing. You know, her pa is not trying to replace Smudge with Copper. He's trying to give Lucy a way to move forward and still be able to ride and enjoy that part of the relationship. So if you can take everything that you've learned, you know, all the heart of that relationship, and take it into the next one, that's where the joy is going to be. And you know, when we lose things in these relationships, like being able to ride the little ponies, and a lot of families face this. I've had so many messages so far from parents saying that their little kids are going through the same problem of growing out of their ponies. There's a lot of families faced with this. You know, there's lots of things that the new horse will bring to us, that because they're all different. And there's a spread in here where Lucy is trying to pick up Smudge's feet, and every horse person will be able to relate to this, that, you know, the pony digs in harder. She pulls and she pushes and she can't pick up the pony's feet. Whereas when Pa picks up Copper's feet, he gives them quite willingly. So that's an easy thing for him. So there's those little things that each horse brings to our relationship that is different, that we value. Some things can be harder than others. And so with each case, you know, we learn and we grow and we value those little quirky things. Picky's good with his feet. I'm lucky. And funny enough, I drew him in Old MacDonald Had a Farm eating apples. He doesn't like apples, he loves carrots. Don't you, mate? So, you know, there's lots of little things. So this is a journey of discovery for Lucy, and Pa is, their relationship is quite special too. He's very patient with her. He doesn't force this relationship on her. He's just introducing her to the possibilities, but she needs to discover this for herself. And sometimes when we have, this is going to be a bit emotional for me. Okay. When we have other animals come into our lives, and we think we're not ready for them, like Lucy isn't, you know, maybe they need us more. So, gosh. So, you know, we need to be open to that. Maybe they need us more. And Copper's backstory is that he's had a hard time in drought. And so, you know, for survival, he's had to move. And so he needs Pa and he needs Lucy more than ever. And once she embraces that, you know, it becomes another beautiful relationship that she can build on. So, you know, there's times when we're not ready for other relationships, but sometimes they do need us more than we need them. So, and I'm lucky to have my beautiful pony still. He's gone to sleep now. But I hope this book will help, you know, other families and kids going through those sorts of things. And it's, you know, I've told it as a beautiful story as well. And there's some funny moments in there with the feet, and when Lucy's riding and her legs are sticking out sideways. We can all relate to that as horse owners. So there's some funny things in there as well, but I do hope it's going to be a story that's going to touch the hearts of everyone and help other little kids in a similar situation, having to, you know, embrace a new member of their four-legged family. So Picky, anyway, should we go and get a carrot? Thank you everyone for listening if you got this far. I do love sharing my stories with everyone, and I hope you enjoy this book just as much as my others. Thank you.